Are live from the Straight Shoot NiceGuyAndy podcast. This is the first episode of Straight Shoot with Bmoney. Here with my co-host, Johnny Lee.
What's up? What's up?
It's time! Because in the studio today, we have one of the baddest men walking the planet, Travis Hudson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Thank y'all for having me.
You're welcome. I've been dying to try to find like MMA fighters and stuff to get on here, and my dad reached out to your dad. Shout out Ray the Bear Steel, and hooked me up, and here we are. So your pro debut this Saturday.
Yes, sir. Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Promotions Hard Rock MMA. You can get your tickets at hrmma.com. Yeah, I'll be the 12th fight, so I'll be fighting Nick Mondelli, and it'll be my pro debut.
Hell yeah. So I got a couple questions to ask you. What inspired you to sort of get into fighting, and what time and stuff did you start training?
I've been fighting. I was like a badass kid, you know what I'm saying? I was just fighting everybody, doing whatever, wasn't really training, just a little hothead. And then I went to the Marines, got, some discipline, some things instilled in me that I needed to, get. And then I got out, and I was just, going to school, and I was kind of searching for something that kind of replaced the Marine Corps. And I was like, man, you're kind of good at fighting too, so let's go train for real. And then I found out, maybe I'm not as badass as I thought, but then, I was catching on quick, and so I started fighting within 9 months of training MMA.
Oh, nice. What year did you start fighting?
I started fighting in 2021, but I started MMA training during COVID. It was kind of
shit.
Yeah, I signed up to the gym in February, March, and then the shutdown happened 2 months later. So really, I got teased a little bit, got 2 months in. I was like, damn, I really like this. And then after the shutdown, I just committed myself all the way to it. And then my first fight was in February 2021.
Oh, that's nice. It's great to finally have somebody in the studio. I've been watching a lot of your fights, and I noticed a couple things. And I wrestle. I know it's not the same, but I heard it's a good, base for MMA. And I seen you do a lot of stuff. You're a tough motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dude, and another thing, you reminded me of Fedor Emelianenko, because sometimes you fight with no emotion.
Yeah.
And that's the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah, I think my coaches, they tell me, they just be a cool, calm killer. This isn't a savagery. You want to make art with it. Yeah. There's a time and place for savagery, and maybe I'm outmatched and outskilled, but everything in there, I'm just assassin. I'm locked in. I'm trying to go for a finish every time I fight. So
Exactly.
What was it? I was thinking of some more questions earlier, but I don't know if I can ask you because the enemy might be watching, and I know how it is. They figured out a game plan for Yuri Prohaska right before, because he was doing training in the back, and they seen it, and Alex Pereira's coach called it out and told Alex, head kick, boom. So yeah.
This game's super wild. We got a game plan. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit out here and say it, whatever.
Exactly.
But I'd say our game plan is we're just going for the finish and showing that we're the better fighter. We're not really worried about anything. Just being cool and calm and taking it each second at a time and capitalizing on the mistakes. So that's all we can do.
Exactly.
I noticed that you were like you said, you're when you get in there, you have this no emotion, but you look so calm, and you got a good gas tank on you too.
Yeah.
Is there
Marine Corps hit high intensity, just a lot of training too, a lot of hours. I'm putting in 35 hours a week in the gym. It's a full-time job,
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what you gotta do whenever you're an MMA fighter. You gotta stay on top of your game.
So when So when COVID shut down, you couldn't train at all, or?
I mean, I wasn't training in the gym. I had a roommate at the time, my best friend Trey, and we would just fucking start rolling in the living room, you know what I mean? And then I think watching film and just mental reps and really, you know, thinking about your craft, even when you're not doing it, it'll help, you know what I mean? So even I wasn't technically in the gym training, I was still training.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
That's what like when COVID shut down, I didn't know if I was going to get to wrestle my senior year. So it was. I mean, we even went and got a mat from the school and like put it up in the backyard and hosted up and was, you know, running through the night. That's one thing when I trained, I never lifted weights. I hated going to the gym unless I had to for like cutting weight and shit. Like I would just wrestle and wrestle and wrestle and wrestle.
Yeah.
But like my gas tank was insane.
Yeah, I'd say because being in the Marines, obviously I was in shape, and you know how you train in there is even a little different. Sometimes you want to be a little heavier, so I was like about 215, 220, where I fight 155, 170.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot different, and I felt that progression of change in my cardio through the different workouts and training.
Yeah.
Like wrestling and grappling, it's just so much different than going to the gym and lifting heavy weight. You know what I mean?
Was there like because like you know how like football players or somebody will come to the gym and like think, oh, I'm in shape, and then they get in there 2 seconds in, they're gassed. Was there anything from like you came from out of the Marine conditioning, or was you like pretty well like conditioned and like?
I was pretty. I was conditioned, but I wouldn't say pretty well conditioned, and I was drinking a lot of alcohol then. I was just, you know, I was, like I said, kind of lost when I got out, just being a student. I didn't really have anything productive to do besides drink and hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
So, like being in the military, you get to go to school and they pay you or whatever, so I'm just going to school and getting to go out with my friends and just kind of getting lost, you know what I mean? But, yeah, just locking in, finding that hobby, and then it's like, damn, I'm kind of good at it. We should do a little further. So
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
So you got 8 fights under your belt.
Yes, sir.
Correct? Yes. What's that like? Like you fight like, you know, you have like a plan. Like I'm gonna fight this, and then maybe like if you don't get hurt or anything like that.
I like to. The way I look at it is I joined the sport already super late, so I need to take every opportunity that I can and really just put forth my effort to being active and healthy. And I'm not going to be able to compete 10 years from now, probably, maybe 40, fighting, we'll see. But you know, I'd really like to take my prime years and stay active. So I just always plan to, you know, after this one, let's just get another one in and get that experience and get after it.
That's right. That's what you got to think about.
I've been to one MMA event, and I noticed like it's like it's fun to watch on TV, but you go see it in real life, dude. It is the best thing ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
We went down to I think Cincinnati for Hard Rock MMA. One of my coaches was fighting. He trained at 4 Seasons, but he would come and like roll with us, and then I would go over to 4 Seasons and roll with him and train. So I did a little bit of everything except like Muay Thai and kickboxing. That's about it. I did boxing.
Yeah, hell yeah. I basically just kind of jumped in. I did a lot of jiu-jitsu at first, which is why I probably submit a lot of people in my.
Every fight that I've watched, there's been like. There's like 1 or 2 that's like above like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that's how much of a badass this guy is. Like he's choking people the fuck out. I think I seen you with an armbar submission win.
Yeah, like minute 12 in that one too. That one was pretty crafty. That's my favorite armbar. It was pretty cool. That whole camp, I was just looking at Gilbert Burns as one of my favorite fighters.
Oh, yeah.
One of his best moves and best techniques that he does is that belly down armbar. And I just kept repping, trying to get that, and I ended up getting in the fight. It was pretty cool.
Did you hear some pops?
Nah, it was just a lot of screaming because I had both.
I bet that.
I had both his arms, and then Like I looked at him for a second, and then I really yanked it, and he just started screaming. The ref came and got it.
Would you say that your favorite finishes are that you're a submission specialist?
I was coming from a 10 Planet school because that's where I train. I train at 10 Planet Louisville Combat Academy.
Nice.
They're located at 7908 Beulah Church Road. Shout out Adrian Jenkins.
That's right. Shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah. Coach Jason Y and Coach BJ Ferguson. So all those guys been rocking with me. A lot of them since day one. So yeah, that's where I get my training in.
Hell yeah.
You got like a favorite aspect of fighting, like jiu-jitsu, wrestling, striking?
I think my favorite aspect of fighting MMA is you get to make it all one. So it's like I can do a jiu-jitsu move that leads to me ground and pounding, to me getting to like a wrestling move on the back where we're standing up, I'm throwing kickboxing, then I'm going to a boxing, and then going for a take. Like it's so art. Like it's so beautiful to be able to do all of them. That's why John Jones that's why he's the GOAT, you know?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
It's crazy because, like, he was I think he was junior college. He wrestled in junior college, and so he wasn't like an Olympian or anything like Daniel Cormier, but to still out wrestle wrestlers.
Yeah.
Same with GSP. GSP didn't start wrestling until he was like 20, 21, and was out wrestling wrestlers and like outbeat. Like, it was crazy.
It's crazy in the training room. You know what I mean? A wrestler and a wrestler goes against each other. The better wrestler will win. But in the MMA, if the wrestler, whoever has more weapons and more skills or whatever, they can dominate the wrestler and be taken. Like, it'll look totally different than them just wrestling or just jiu-jitsu versus jiu-jitsu. It all changes when you put it all together, and it just becomes its own thing. You know what I mean?
What did you think about this past weekend's fight card?
Man, it was pretty. I think it was like every single one was a decision. No.
Patty had a nice.
He had to
submission.
finish. Yeah, so I think it was a lot of decisions, but I'd say a lot of it was probably them fighting at 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning. So I bet that was hard to adjust for.
And then there was I can't think of his name, but he actually sort of got fired or released from his contract.
Oh yeah, Muhammad Mahayev.
Yeah, he was the dude who was pulling the dude's ass cheeks out, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I was watching that. Dude, the ref stands him up after he done he straight up like pull that other dude's ass cheeks out.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
He got released. He's undefeated, which is crazy. Speaking of people getting released and having good, Nathan Manis from Kentucky, he's 5-2, and they try to release him, or not release him, but not re-sign him. You know what I mean? And he's out here finishing people. So it just goes to show too in the UFC and fighting in general, it's not always about you're the best fighter. If you're out here finishing, you just gotta have like a pull to you. You gotta have something else to you. It's different.
There's a chance the best fighter in the world's never even made it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that type of deal. Same thing with football or any sport, really.
Exactly. Which I think the Nathan Manis thing is crazy. He should definitely get a contract. So should Makayev. You know what I mean? We're talking about like super sick fighters, but it just goes to show you got to have other things too. It's different. It's crazy. It's a business.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
What do you think about? I know this is MMA, but what do you think about Jake Paul?
I think Jake Paul's got a lot of bread and does what he wants, and he's got a lot of legit training and a lot of people around him. Him as a boxer, I'm sure he can compete with pro boxers. I'm sure, but do I like his the way he is and picking on MMA fighters or picking like cake fights every time? Nah, I don't mess with that. If you want to be what you want to be, then fight competition for real. Fight real people.
Yeah.
If he wants to do it, he needs to step to an octagon. If he wants to talk all that shit, they have a rematch with the guys that are MMA fighters. They have stepped into his world, but he won't step into their world because he's scared.
Yeah,
he knows.
my biggest thing with him is, so Joe Rogan brought up the point that if he wasn't a YouTuber or a streamer, that he would like people would think he's a legit boxer. If he wasn't a YouTuber or streamer, there are so many other boxers out there that would squawk him that we don't even know about.
Absolutely.
Like, he wouldn't even know. He wouldn't even make it.
And amateur boxers are crazy. Some of them are like 50, 60 amateur bouts, and then they turn, and you're like, wow, you know.
It's like my old coach said that like he used to fight like every weekend.
Yeah.
Like crazy. Like that's insane.
Yeah. The game has just evolved and changed from the last 20 years of MMA, from our coaches or the older generation of fight. Everything's changed, man. The growth in the next 5 to 10 years within the sport and grappling and jiu-jitsu and how to be in schools and at a collegiate level. There's a thing called Nuka MMA. Have you ever heard of that?
No,
It's ran by Conor McGregor's team.
Nice.
Owen Rowdy, I believe, is his striking coach. He's like one of the main people.
Yeah.
A bunch of his team is running like a NCAA for
shit.
colleges, and there's colleges like Florida, like D1 big colleges that are out there competing and doing this and having kids like compete now, and it goes by like freshman, sophomore, junior. So freshmen fight freshmen, and it goes like that. So yeah,
Damn, that's insane.
Yeah.
That makes me think like, because I've heard a couple people talk about it, and we got the Olympics going on right now. So, how cool would it be if we got like an old school tournament style, not a one night tournament, like that's fucking too much, but like all the countries doing MMA, dude.
Like the movies, like the old school like 80s movies where they're
like
Bloodsport.
Yeah,
Bloodsport.
hell yeah, Bloodsport.
That's what I was thinking too.
Because I mean it's definitely I think it's more of a sport than fencing is.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
Absolutely.
I've always said like people can argue whatever they want. I think MMA or boxing is the hardest sport. There's no doubt. It's you and somebody else, and you're trying to knock somebody unconscious or make them do something they don't want to do,
Or submit their asses.
like you guys are modern day gladiators.
Yeah, I agree. And it's just a lifestyle. Like fighting is. I feel like a lot of other sports, like you can just kind of go through your motions and do whatever. And then if you're if you're just skilled at basketball or whatever, I might be talking about my ass, but you just kind of go out there and do it. Not saying that you don't go put in work, but like we're in here getting punched in the face, like getting choked unconscious. Like it's just different, you know. And it's mentally different. The lifestyle's different. The drive's different.
I heard a pretty funny saying. Somebody said it. I can't remember, but it was like you never hear, or so you always hear like, oh, you beat me in basketball, you can't whoop me though. It's never, oh, you whoop me, but you can't beat me in a basketball game.
No.
Exactly.
And like I used to play a bunch of sports growing up, you know. I used to lose my mind over it, you know. But once I started like really committing myself, I said, there's nothing comparable to this. And I feel like I played everything: baseball, football, basketball, soccer, you know. There's nothing comparable to this.
I think because like when I was a kid, like I played all the sports, but dude, I was terrible at every single sport. But I was really good at karate.
Yeah.
And then after karate, I was like, Dad, I want to be a pro wrestler. All right, you gotta go join the wrestling team then. And I joined the wrestling team. I didn't see nobody doing pile drivers, but I got there and I loved it. Because, like, in those sports, like football, I didn't want to do anything but hit people. Like, that's all I wanted to do, and I was fucking 42 pounds. Like, people would knock the shit out of me, dude.
Yeah.
And, but, like, once I started wrestling, I fell in love with it, and I think there's a certain... I think it's something, honestly, that's people are born with, where you have this, like... Because when I would step on the wrestling mat, my thoughts weren't, oh, I hope this guy don't hurt me or nothing. No, I wanna fucking kill this guy.
Yeah.
Like I don't wanna, like I was calm and collected, but in the same way I was like I want this dude to die. Like I'm gonna.
You were in that
hurt him.
mindset.
Like no matter win or lose, I want to hurt this guy. Like it's that type of mentality that like I pretty sure like people are born with, because people are like, God damn, MMA fighters are crazy.
Yeah, it's a definitely a feeling you can't explain all the way. You know what I mean? You really do want to hurt motherfucker when you're looking.
Yep.
It's crazy. So,
But
You're
after,
not caring that you're getting hurt at all.
yeah,
but after it, I see that you're like, or even before the match, you're super respectful,
yeah.
and that goes a long way. Like no matter win or lose, like always shake the dude's hand.
Yeah.
Like
Nah, I'm gonna always be respectful as long as respect's given. You know what I mean? But you treat me with disrespect, you see probably a whole different person. I don't like that
Exactly.
shit. You know, so I just give what I get. You know what I mean? As we keep it respectful, I'm shake your hand, do whatever. We're gonna come in here and handle business.
But it's built on respect.
Yeah, it ain't no ill feelings. I do respect you in a way for coming in here and doing this, but
yeah.
you know, if you trying to be disrespectful, I'm gonna probably act a buffoon. I'm gonna
Yep.
fucking.
They're getting what they gave you.
What I had a question, but I lost it. Shit. Is there? Oh, there it is. Is there a certain fight that you fought so far that you're like you've watched it 1,000 times? You're like, golly, it's such a good fight.
Yeah, honestly, my last fight against Keaston McLean, I lost it in a 5-round championship fight. But he's ranked. He's like the #1 ranked amateur in the like North America, multiple different countries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just keep watching that fight back, because there was a second there in the first round where I get to the position of the back where I'm finishing these guys in a minute, and I just know I could have done something. You know what I mean? And I think honestly, like in that fight, it stunned me that I got to that position so fast. I was just like, holy shit, I'm about to do it, and he got out, you know, which credit to him, man. He's a hell of a opponent, and that dude's young. He'll probably be in the UFC if he keeps on going where he's going.
Exactly.
That reminded me of something. It was the third round of the state championship, because back then it was 32-man bracket. They've fucked with it now with all the COVID shit, and but I was versing a kid from, I can't remember what county it was from, some weird ass county, and like, dude, everything I did he had a counter for.
Yeah.
Eventually he messed up, and I had him in. I had his head in like the headlock, like I was pinning him, and I threw my grapes in. You know what that?
Yeah.
I had my grapes in, and he just slips out of the grapes. I had never seen or heard, so I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, this guy's fucking insane.
Yeah, there's a couple of times I've had people and shit. I'm like, how the fuck? But I'm sure you know what I mean. I've done the same thing to people too. It's a crazy sport, like.
Yeah.
And matchups, like, what type of jiu-jitsu you're good at as opposed to what I'm good at, might beat you 1,000 times, but a guy that you beat 1,000 times might beat me. Like, it's like crazy math in MMA and jiu-jitsu. It don't even make sense. So.
You mentioned earlier that before we got on live that you really enjoyed Lyoto Machida.
Oh yeah.
Which was a bad motherfucker.
The dragon, man, the last dragon. He was for real, man. He was just he was it for me. He was southpaw too, and then just that
You're
karate.
southpaw?
Yeah, I'm southpaw, and just that I thought karate was so cool at that age. You know, I was watching like Little Ninja, the Three Ninjas, and shit like that, ninja movies, all that. I just thought, man, this dude's a ninja. And there was like a YouTube video, a little hype video around him. I was just addicted to it. I would watch it and just be like, yeah, I'm going to train one day. And here I am. Here we go, training.
That's right.
The fight that got me like super hard, because I would watch like the big pay-per-views and shit like when I was younger and stuff. But about in like middle school, I came across a video on YouTube, and it was Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald.
Yes.
Dude, when he God,
Savagery.
Dude, I still get goosebumps. Even think about it. It is one of the greatest moments in MMA history.
Yeah, they literally did not have any care for their lives. They were trying to kill each other.
I mean, Roy McDonald didn't didn't back down either. He just couldn't anymore. His nose was shattered.
Yeah, his body just literally shut down on him. And like they were going at it. It was crazy. There's a couple fights like that.
Yeah.
My favorite fight like that is the Dustin Poirier and Dan Hooker.
Oh yeah, dude! I remember. Dude. Yeah, I was in Arizona because my mom used to live in Arizona, and we was just sitting there because I think it was on it was a fight night. It wasn't even on. But that fight was.
It was during
insane.
COVID, so that was the best thing about COVID is everybody was fighting in the Apex, and the Apex octagon is like 40% smaller or something. Like it's something way crazy. Yeah. And so it would make people engage a lot faster. People can't run around, move, so people are beating the shit out of each other. You're getting to hear every shot cracking. You know, people just killing each other, clobbering each other.
And I remember also, I think that was the same card that Cheeto Vera beat O'Malley.
Yeah.
And it was the same card as, I can't remember who he knocked out, but Cody Garbrandt came out. And he had his hand on the cage, and the dude came in, and he fucking won.
Was it Pedro Munoz?
It was like, it's a white dude with like, no, that was might have been.
I think it was him. It might not, I don't know. Cody, man, damn Cody.
He's a dog, but.
He used to be one of my favorites, and then he just hit that losing streak, man. Shit sucks.
Yeah.
Shit happens though. It's the love and hate of the sport. The shit will shit on you and then lift you up, shit on you again, lift you right back up. It's crazy.
One minute you can be undefeated, and next minute you have your first loss, and go on to have a losing streak for a while.
One of the greatest upsets in fighting history, Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman.
Yeah, crazy.
Anderson Silva's untouchable up until that point. Like, man, like you just never seen anything like that in the MMA world. Like, his striking was just levels above everybody.
And then in a rematch, he got clobbered again to legs breaks, and then he does that.
And then Chris Weidman broke his leg like the same exact way. That was insane. I think he was first in Uriah Hall.
Yeah.
Which actually ended up being Anderson Silva's last fight too.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? How it was all linked up. Uriah Hall he was crazy. I remember watching him and the Ultimate Fighter having that spinning kick. Man, I thought for sure, I was like, this guy's it.
Yeah.
This guy's it.
I could be wrong, but did he stop fighting for a little bit?
He just boxed on this last card. Maybe it was Anthony Pettis card, but one of the two last little celebrity kind of boxing things.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a Masvidal. I don't know.
It was the Masvidal and Diaz.
I think he boxed on that.
Card,
he boxed Julio Cesar Chavez. Junior, whatever.
Yeah. I think it's like the boxing promoter, like the big boxing promoters.
Well, his dad was a famous boxer, and then his son he's just a knockoff. He's terrible. I think he's terrible. I don't think he's nowhere near his dad.
That's like Tommy Fury.
Tommy's nowhere near his Tyson.
Tommy's not.
And if anybody sees this, don't beat me up. Like I'm just a fan watching, but I got my little hot takes and stuff. But I'm watching it as a fan. So if you get offended, don't be offended.
But it's the truth. Tommy isn't as good as Tyson.
No.
And I think many people should know that.
Him and Jake should run it.
Run it back?
Run it back. I think that they should run that back.
They definitely
and actually fight. I feel like they didn't fight last time.
Yeah, they didn't. Cause I watched that fight and I was thinking, when you gonna get to fighting? Why is there so much hugging going on?
You come at everybody else throwing. I mean, see how he's swinging at Mike Perry? Like swing at Tommy like that. I want to see what's
exactly.
And that's good for both of you too. You know what I mean? Do it again.
Tommy's another one that's like if he didn't have the Fury name, he wouldn't be up there.
Nah.
Like he's a pro. Is he pro? I think.
Yeah, he's pro. He's 9-0 pro, I believe.
What about Tyson Fury losing that recent boxing match?
He got pieced. He was getting pieced up. I think he got too comfortable. Thought he was gonna take over the rounds, and then Usyk just put it on him, man.
Yep.
He's a dog.
Yeah, he's built different though.
Yeah.
He really is built different, and he's awkward too, like Tyson. They both awkward heavyweights to be moving like that, and athletic, as big. They're both awkward, so it was going to be a hard fight for him.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean,
And we're gonna get a rematch eventually.
Tyson Fury's built like my dad, and then Usyk's like five. It's like 5'4" and just wide as can be.
Yes.
I do believe that Tyson did come in there feeling comfortable that he was gonna walk away yet again undefeated, and that led to him making mistakes.
Yeah. He's getting old too, man. He's had a lot of wars,
Yep.
a lot of battle. He did get knocked down by Francis, and
Yeah.
he
Yep.
really won. He's Deontay Wilder and their wars.
Dude,
I mean,
yeah.
he got cut by the German kid that
I've
was
seen
even supposed.
that,
You
yeah.
know,
Yep.
he's taking a lot of damage. You know.
And that adds up when you're aging.
Yeah, he's
Ye-
36, 37. Right?
Yep.
So there's like a lot of like, so like, how do I say this? Like, do you think people's chins deteriorate, like over fights?
Yeah, I think if you get put to sleep a certain way,
Yeah.
you'll never come back from that. You know, or probably not. You see, there's some people. You know, Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
He's done it. The way he got put away by Izzy, I was like, damn, dude, he might. You know, and then here he
Yeah.
is. So I don't know, man. It kind of depends on the individual. I think a lot of people's problem with their chin deteriorating is their weight cutting as they're getting older, and you know, just things changing in their body too.
Yep.
I know a lot of people when you see their chin starting to deteriorate.
Cody Garbrandt's one of the best examples.
Yeah, they just don't start looking like they belong in the weight class. You see them on weigh-in
Yeah.
day. There's just like little signs, but you know, there's 1,000 different things that could go into it. So.
But then there's some people that have just granite chin. Nate Diaz. I mean,
Yeah.
he's took some beatings,
Yeah.
and like it's just like I don't. That CT or was it CTE?
Oh
Man.
yeah, for sure.
Concussions.
I mean, bro, every time we fight, football, getting hit in helmet tackling, like it's rough as fuck. There's concussion protocol. We literally go out there and get kicked in the face and
Yeah.
do whatever. I know for a fact I've had concussions after my fights.
Dude, that's the thing. You get kicked in the head one wrong time, and then the bell rings. You go back to your stool.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
fuck! I might have a concussion. I ain't gonna tell the ref that.
Yeah. That's the fastest fucking pit stop too. In that
Yep.
corner, you're sitting there like.
Exactly.
That's why I always stand up. You know, I don't want to get.
Yeah,
like,
I noticed that.
I don't ever try to sit down because I just feel like it'll stick me there. Stick.
Yeah.
Like my first fight when I did it, man, I was like, holy, I cannot get off this motherfucker. So
Yeah.
I stand up on that.
So it's kind of like when you get a tattoo, and then like, cause first time, so I got a tattoo right here. It didn't hurt or anything, but the first 15 minutes are rough. But then, like an hour later, she was like, you want to take a break? And I was like, might as well. I'll just go give me some water or something from the gas station. I didn't eat that day, so I went and got me something. Then, dude, she started, and it felt like when it first started. I was like, damn.
Yeah, dude. It honestly, man, it gets worse. I just got some tattoos touched up from when I was younger, and I was like, man, I don't remember them. And they were like, man, as you get older, some of your nerves and some of the things start changing. So
Yeah.
your tattoos fucking hurt. I tapped out. I had a
wow.
whole 2-hour session. I only did like an hour and a half. I was like, bro, I don't even want to do the other 30 minutes. Like, I'm good.
Where do you think the worst place to get tattoo is that you've got?
Mine is my chest. My whole chest piece was like a 9-hour, 8-hour piece, and I did it once when I was 18, and then getting it touched up though, fuck, dog, I was done. She was tearing me up.
Exactly.
What we got here is this old Roy McDonald versus Nate Diaz.
With that timely too, Nate Diaz or him in the octagon. Pretty much that's something that can happen too. You can be the baddest fighter and come in there and you meet your match without even realizing it.
So how you feeling going into the fight Saturday?
I feel super good. My weight's honestly better than it's ever been. Even better than last time. It was perfect. The last time I had to make 155 on the dot, championship weight. Yeah, man, it was an easy cut. I was even like shooting basketball and hopped in a pool and swam a little bit last time. So I think this time it'll be that good.
no sauna. If the enemy's watching, no sauna trips. You're probably sitting in the sauna right now watching this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on your opponent?
I think it's tough. You know what I mean. Respect to him. Respect to anybody that gets in there. But I just think I got more skill than him, and I'm gonna finish him. Gonna choke
That's
him out.
right. That's the way to think.
Yes, sir.
Because you don't want to go in there having doubt. You want to think that you got this guy already figured out, that you're going to make this guy tap out or you're going to knock this guy out.
No, I never like to underestimate any of them. You know, I give everybody, you know, the highest respect in there. And to be honest, when you start training, you realize, like, you grab a grown-ass man and they try as hard as they can, it's not always as easy as you think.
Yep.
So, you know, my coaches, they put me through adversity all camp. I've been training super hard 2-3 times a day, every day. I'm obsessed with this shit. So I feel good. I'm ready.
Not to expose you camper or anything, but is there any like weird like training things you do? Like is there any like just like kind of out of the ordinary? Like I've heard of like people nerve killing their shins and stuff like that.
Nah, I don't do nothing, man. I play Xbox. I play NCAA 25. I chill with my daughter and I train, bro. That's all I do. I don't take supplements. I don't do shit. I just go in there and fight and I train and I get after it. That's what we do.
That's what it's all about. Because you're two men that's going to be going in there, respect between both your combatants that know that you got to put your all into everything you do inside that octagon.
Sir, exactly.
And so my guy Johnny Lee here, he, you know, the women are just all over him.
Yes.
But say he's going into a fight, is he allowed to you know get one off right before the fight, or is that they say it makes your knees weak?
Man, it's just it's all about preference. You know, I have before and I have not, so it's just about preference, opportunities that present itself. You know what I mean? So
That's
just
right.
take it a day at a time.
What did you think about Khabib?
He's one of the GOATs, man. I might like all the fighters he's beat, you know, and rooted against him, but I appreciate his greatness, and you know, you look up to people like you want to be a good human, good father, good everything like that. He checks all those lists, you know. Maybe not have all the same beliefs or whatever, whatnot, but
he's a good submission specialist too.
Yeah, he's a monster.
When, like, that's the thing about the Dagestan people is, like, it's God, family, MMA. That's it. There's nothing else.
Big on respect the elder, everything like that. It's just different over there, different life, you know.
Like you can't beat a guy that's that locked in. Like that's all they do.
No, you better be locked in too. You better be locked in too.
Speaking of Dagestan, have you ever done Sambo?
I've never done Sambo. I have watched it a little bit, but from my understanding, it's just MMA with a gi.
Yeah.
That's what I've taken with it. It looks badass though. Like getting some training in the gi. That's one thing I do wish I will, or not do wish I will, but I will start putting more time in. It's probably putting on the gi.
Yeah.
So.
Do you do a lot of gi, or so you do jiu-jitsu? So I
literally wore a gi 3 times in my whole time training. Yeah.
So it's just rash guards?
Yeah, all rash guards, no shirt, real.
I had a sick rash guard that I would wear in the summer because we did a wrestling school here in Lexington called the Car Academy, and it was badass. It has like Freddy Krueger on it. It's like across the back, and then I had some shorts that were what was it? Cobra Kai, like fighting shorts.
Nice.
That was fun. And then finally they let us. They made it where you could wear shirt and shorts when you wrestled, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Next time I come up, I'll pull up. I'll bring y'all a rash guard from the gym. We got the little tent.
Hell yeah.
Hook y'all up. Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate you.
So.
We appreciate that. We've been trying to get an MMA fighter inside here for a while now.
Yeah.
We did have one that we wanted to come because he went from professional wrestling to become a legit badass in MMA.
Yeah, hell yeah.
His name was Kicking Kelly Charles.
He was he was big back in the day, and he actually him and Harry Hunsucker.
Oh yeah. Hell
So
yeah.
them two were supposed to have they were like the two best heavyweights. Like I think at one point, it's what I heard. I don't know. And they were supposed to have a fight, and it ended up getting canceled.
My boy Ligo, he's done a lot of training with Harry Hunsucker. He speaks super high of him. Of course, he made it to the UFC
Yeah.
fight. Fucking badass this short notice, everything. So
Hell yeah.
What do you think about taking fights on short notice? Is there a
yeah, I mean, hell, I think some fights, you know what I mean. Some
Yeah.
it's got to make sense, especially now if you're professional. It's a business. We're talking. Give me some money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Give me some incentives. Hook me up.
Exactly.
As an amateur, I think staying active, being ready. That's probably the best thing for an amateur is getting as many fights as you
Yeah.
can.
I've heard in amateur that there's a lot of people dropping out of fights and stuff like that.
I think people just drop out of fights. Period. And I've had to drop out a couple fights myself. Two, 3 fights exactly. But I had staph.
Ooh.
I got that twice. And I had the flu. But other ones I dealt with 3, 4 people dropping out on me too. But this is just part of the game.
Yep.
Especially at an amateur level, what can you expect? Some of these guys are not.
Yeah.
Some of these guys really ain't in here training and are truly amateurs and
Yeah.
not really doing it. So you expect that from certain levels of people. They're not going to show up to fight.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
So with UFC, they they obviously plan their fights and stuff like that. How does Hard Rock and I think is it B2?
yeah, Hard Rock and B2. So
How do they
I don't know.
plan their fights?
Brandon Higdon is the matchmaker, so he just matches them up, and I've dealt with other matchmakers and they just match me up, and some of them make sense, some of them don't make sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people say no, some, that's just how it goes. They offer you people, 2, 3 people, and you say yes to one, the other person says yes,
Yep.
What is it? Going back to short-term fights. Volkanovski and Islam. That was the worst decision of his. You're going in and fighting for a world championship on what was it a week, 4
Yeah.
days notice?
He must have, like I said, he had to make it make sense, pay me a lot of money, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? If he got paid what he was getting paid to win,
Yeah.
and he still lost, and fuck it. But people at that level, people are always like, why don't they fight? And they're taking a big risk, They lose a fight, they could lose $1 million fucking dollars, hundreds of thousands of
Yep.
dollars,
Yeah, after that, he got head kicked, lost his other belt.
Yeah, and now he'll probably, I don't want to say it because I love Volk,
Dude, he was, at one point I was like, there was one moment that made me say he could be the greatest ever, and it was when Brian Ortega had him in the guillotine.
That shit was crazy.
Dude, it was so deep.
And then he got him in the triangle, no?
Yep.
It was a triangle later on in the fight that looked like it was super locked in, I think.
I thought the triangle was earlier,
Mm.
and he got out of. No, it was a triangle
It was
later
another-
on because he
I think
beat the
It was,
tar
yeah,
out
he
of
beat
him.
once he got out of that one, he fucked him up. That's the bad thing about being a jiu-jitsu guy, and
Yeah.
that's what I did my last fight too. I had a couple triangle attempts that I thought were super close,
Yeah.
but once you don't get them, man, damn, it fucks your head up. It fucks you
Yeah.
up mentally.
That's right.
It just makes it brutal, You're like, fuck, and you got to start all over again. So that shit
Yep.
does suck.
Because they could throw you off your game. That's the one thing you got to be prepared to as well. Because if you got a game plan and the game plan fails, you got to be mentally prepared that, well, damn, everything that I've thrown at this guy, he somehow had an answer to. Let me try something that I've been practicing.
Yeah, and that's one thing too in the fights, mentally and preparing mentally. No matter what, you're gonna be tired.
Yeah.
Yep.
No matter how much you do, and how much
Fatigue
cardio,
sets in.
That shit hits. Adrenaline's different. Your body's rushing. You're trying a little harder because this dude's trying a little harder, and it's real, So mentally, that's just one thing too. That's why I try to remain calm. And something my coaches, like I said, they instill these qualities in me to remain calm. Say, dude, you're going through it harder in training. We're pushing you harder in training. We're putting fresh guys on you, shark tanking you. You know, you're doing 5 minutes with this fresh guy, 5 minutes with this fresh guy. And one of my coaches, he don't even fucking like the damn clock. He's like, I am the clock. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn, this is a 14-minute round, you know. And then I find myself, oh, I'm not looking at the clock. I just went 20 minutes. Didn't even know. I'm not fucking tired.
That's right.
So you just, you know, mentally push through it. Mental is everything. Yeah.
And a big thing going, like that's what a lot of people don't see, like behind the scenes is the weight cut and the camp. Like, dude, it's tough. Like I mean, in camp, like you're more likely to get hurt in camp than you are in a fight.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing. Like, a lot of times you don't go into a fight 100%. There's always something. You know what I mean? There's fucking something. Some little nagging thing that happened in camp. You train 2-3 times a day. You know, you go live with people that come in fresh too, and they're not sore at all, bro. And you're like, fuck, I just fucked myself up. You know, it's just crazy.
Hello, Ref James. But yeah, that's a very real something that can happen when you go inside there, that the other guy could be fresh and you're not.
Yeah.
You always gotta have this at the back of your mind that, well, damn, this guy ain't even sore at all. So you gotta find a way not to let him know that you aren't 100%, because then he'll try to take advantage.
Yep. I think that's part of another, like, wearing it, you know what I mean? Not showing no emotion. I'm sore as fuck at practice. I don't even want to do this shit, but here we go. Here's another rep, and it looks like I'm trying to my hardest and my fullest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's smart strategy, too, because you're throwing them off. They don't know what's going through your head because they only see a blank expression.
Yeah.
So to them, they don't know if you're hurt, they don't know if you're sore. They're going in thinking that you're as fresh as them.
It's like,
so they ain't got no advantage.
There's a fight. I think it's Kevin Randleman and Fedor in Pride. Dude, he straight up picks Fedor up, drops him right on his neck. Fedor gets up and is like, no emotion, didn't hurt. Like, that was insane too.
Like you said, one of the kicks that you get kicked in the face. Like, I sat there, I was like, that shit hurt. You know what I mean? I remember it. That shit hurt. And you remember the ones that hurt. Like, all the ones that I like got tagged, and I was like, oh yeah, that one fucking hurt. I'll rewatch the fights and be like, yep, that one fucking smacked. That's what that was. Yeah.
What hurts more, like a good like head kick or punch, or like a good liver kick or liver punch?
Liver will just shut you down if it lands right. It is nothing. If you can even take, like, your body just shuts down. The liver kicks. Molly McCann, did you watch that fight? Last weekend, she's Patty's teammate.
Yeah.
She got kicked in the liver a bunch, and you just see her shutting down. So there's some parts of the body where you get hit, man, and you get touched. It don't matter if you got a chin or how tough you are. It's gonna get you.
It's like there's been a couple punches and stuff like that. Like, for example, like Usman and Masvidal, Usman and Leon. Like, there's just some shit like
it's gonna get you.
You're out.
Yeah.
It's like boxing. If they go for the body, you're going to be getting fatigued because body shots are basically taking the wind out from you.
And what was it? Mike Perry said the first body punch that Jake Paul threw cracked his rib or something.
Yeah, man, and that's how it's weird. It'll be the first one and it'll break some shit, and it'll be the first one that really hurts that makes you compensate for the other shit that they start attacking with. It gets crazy.
What is it? I was boxing with my coach one time. Well, it was like I was actually doing like MMA, but it was like pretty much like wrestling and just a little bit of striking. Yeah. And so we're striking. I get him in a clinch, and he knees me right in the liver, dude. And I was done.
That was I mean, at first when you start like before you're conditioning and you're really like fighting, you don't know how to breathe and everything. The body shots at first, I'll say the first probably 6, 7, 8 months, those hurt me the fucking worst because you just didn't know how to take them or prepare for it. With the punches, you know, I already have like a natural ability to roll with them or knowing what's up. I've been hit in the face a fucking bunch before. Ain't nobody trying to hit you in the stomach in a street fight for real.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean. So It
that
really
first
is a
time it
crazy
catches you
game.
off guard because at that time you haven't been trained how to take it.
Yeah, because you clinch up, tighten up, you're like, it's way different.
Speaking of street fights, what do you think about? You probably heard about it. Street beefs.
Oh yeah, I've heard of street beefs.
There's some wild ones on there where I'm like, what the fuck? And then sometimes they have bad matchups, and I'm like,
Yeah, I think that shit's fake. Obviously, you know what I mean. Like, not fake, but
Yeah.
like y'all ain't skilled, and
No.
the ones that are skilled, like, come find out for real. Come, like, go get in the cage. You know,
Yeah.
like, do it for real.
dude, I watch somebody get on there and they'll have fucking tennis shoes and sweatpants.
Yeah,
and
man.
Then like somebody will like take them down and they'll like you know how like if you wrestle somebody or like grapple with somebody that doesn't know anything about grappling, the first thing they do is try to put you in a guillotine.
Yeah.
And like they just don't have it in, but they think they're
They
just squeezing your ear.
Yeah, that's a lot of people that don't train. That's what they do right away. They just squeeze, and you can
Yeah.
hear them like grunting and going so hard. And really, man, this is a flow, like
Yeah.
a flow. Like the more loose and agile and that's the way to go. Not really forcing. And there's a time for it, but
Yeah.
that's not the technique. That's not it.
Exactly.
They're like my friends at school. Like I mean, they would always challenge me and like want to wrestle and stuff like that. And so like first thing they would do when I got their legs is do that, and they think they'd be choking me. I'd be sitting there like just breathing.
Wait until they
normally.
squeeze themselves out. Yeah.
And it's like when I first started wrestling, there was like I would get put in a choke.
Yeah.
But like now, like you put me in a choke, you know, eventually like if it's deep enough, I'll tap. But like I can like you build up like a tolerance
Yeah.
almost.
My coach, he always suggests getting choked out, like going to sleep, so you know your threshold. So when you're rolling, you're like, oh, okay, now I'm about to go to sleep. You know what I mean? So you can really push that limit. So
Exactly.
I've came close a couple times, and like some of it was just me and my buddies being stupid. I was like, see how long you choke me,
Yeah.
and then you start seeing the little bright like you know little lights and stuff.
yeah, I'm like a real big swimmer for real. I like to do a lot of swimming instead of running, and I always try to like hold my breath and thinking like, I'll hold this during the choke out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the motherfucker ain't choking me out. Like I'm gonna build my shit up 2 minutes with no oxygen. I'll be alright. You know. So
That's right. Because people don't understand there's technique that you need to understand whenever you MMA fight. It's not you're just going in there and fighting. You gotta know technique.
yes, sir.
Otherwise, you're at a huge disadvantage.
Andy says the studio is sparkling.
Yes, it is, Andy.
What
And
up?
thank you for finally putting Scott Diamond's cane up on the wall.
I know. Yeah, I noticed that. What I ain't seen Andy. Andy is nice guy Andy.
Yeah.
But I ain't seen Andy in forever. He's
Exactly.
the boss around.
Now look at that. We got something new to the wall.
Oh yeah.
A new fanciful art.
But Johnny here actually pretty much beat the shit out of Andy. That's why I don't think he's been here. They had a match.
Yeah.
Went
I hit
down.
him with his double knees and he's still feeling it.
Damn.
When he was in us too, he's like, "Why'd you hit with the double knees? My neck's all junk." I'm like, Andy, you could handle it. But yeah, this was June 5th when it happened. It was in Salina, Tennessee.
And he ain't been back since.
Not really. He's been in here a couple times, but he's not shown back up full time.
Damn, Andy. Come on, man.
And this is supposed to be the Nice Game podcast, but tonight it's the straight shoot with Bmoney.
First episode.
And
This-
also the first MMA fighter
yeah,
to be
first episode
in the studio.
and first MMA fighter.
Sir, let's get this.
And we're going to be putting this on Spotify because
It'll be on Spotify, YouTube, Twitch.
did you not see the video where I murdered Johnny? Well, listen, Nice GuyAndy, you sucker attacked me to murder me. And I got you back with those double knees. So just remember that. But anyways, we got the host, Bmoney, and we got Travis Hudson in studio tonight. The MMA fighter that's going to be making his pro debut August 3rd, this Saturday night.
Andy's probably got your midget strippers.
Yeah.
Blow right now.
But you know what? That's his sloppy seconds, because I've got way more strippers than that. Plus, stripper parties with midgets is always fun. Just go to Tijuana, Mexico, and tell you, the donkey show there with the midget strippers blows anything else out of the water.
Show, I never heard you talk about the
Oh,
donkey
trust
show.
me, the donkey show.
I've never seen a midget stripper. I'm missing
Hey,
out.
trust me.
I'm missing out.
When you get a midget stripper, there just ain't nothing about it. Because once she gets down, let's just say you don't gotta throw the money up high. You can just throw the money down low. Oh.
Love it.
Who do we got? Oh, is this JDS and Fabricio Werdum?
Yeah, they're showing off the top 10 heavyweight fights.
You ever thought about that? Like, you remember when he did that like flying side kick? You ever like right before you're about to fight? Do you ever think of like some crazy shit to do?
So before my first fight, I thought I was gonna do some crazy shit like that. But yeah, man, I don't know. One of my coaches' philosophy, he's like, man, why don't you just go out there and fill it out sometimes, you know? Like, you want to be the guy that gets knocked out in 5 seconds. So he, like, put it to me in a way, and I was like, damn, I don't want to be the guy. It would be super cool if I got the knock, you know what I mean? And maybe I'll fuck around and I'll say, fuck it, I'll do it, because I really will do some shit like that, like, if I convince myself. But,
like the Showtime kid.
yeah, right now I just want to, you know, go out there, cool, calm, control myself. But if there's like a Jorge Masvidal Ben Askren, I know a dude's gonna grab my leg if I do it. Maybe I'll fuck around and do it. But
Exactly.
you know.
And you don't want to see a guy trying to run at you and do a flying kick, because when they do that, it has to make you think, well, then I'll just step over to this side and catch him with a kick him on, or hit him with a punch.
Yeah, I don't want to do something too drastic to.
Exactly.
Yeah, to like the point where you put yourself in a bad position,
Exactly.
or say the guy is a wrestler and he just you know wraps you up right after.
Because that's part of being a professional. Like what we're doing, we're killers in here. You know what I mean? I'm taking my time. I'm trying to.
Yep, you gotta dissect them.
I'm not gonna come out here and run out here and just be sloppy and brawling. You know, maybe I will if I have to, but.
It's all about staying calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah.
Taking your time with them, because you don't want to just start swinging and missing, because you might never know, they might come back with something that knocks you out because you got too sloppy.
Yeah. And especially in the beginning, like I said, a lot of these guys that they're super hard to, you know, finish in the first minute. They are fucking strong, or they're super big, or they didn't cut weight right, and then later on in the fight you feel them, you know, gassing out, or they'll give up after they're done fighting as hard as they can. You know what I mean? For 40 seconds of fighting as hard as I can, and the next minute's mine because you're done. You just gave up your whole wad. So.
Yep.
How is like so like your how nervous were you like your first fight, and then like compared to now?
To be honest, bro, it's probably about the same. Honestly, I'm so nervous, man. Like I can't even describe it. People don't even believe me when I tell them, because they're like, "Bro, you look so calm." And like I've been back there before, and Rob, my buddy's, he's filming me and making a video and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, dude." He's like, "I couldn't tell it off." I was like, "Dude, I swear to God, like 3 seconds before I was about to walk out, I was about to just fucking run away." It's crazy. I don't even know how to explain how nervous.
Exactly.
There was times like I would be in a championship, dude, and like right before I would like go to the bathroom and just, dude, I'd like throw up.
Yeah,
I was so nervous. Like it's insane.
Yeah, but I think that's part of being so calm, because you accept every result. Like every result goes through my head, win and losses. You know, obviously I think of the wins more, and I envision, you know, me doing something, trying to manifest it more so. But you know, you do get negative thoughts. You do get nervous. You do want to quit. I don't care what motherfuckers say. No matter how much I love fighting, sometimes I do. I'm like, damn, bro, what am I? I probably shouldn't keep going, but fuck it, we're gonna keep going. So I think it's just so unique. You battle yourself so much.
Yeah, people don't understand that. You go inside there, so halftime you will be thinking that you want to just quit. You don't want to be a part of this, but then something tells you, nah, let's just go out there and let's do it.
Yeah.
If they knock me out, they knock me out. Fuck it. Well, let's just put our all into it.
And it's special when you feel yourself overcoming something like that.
Yeah.
When you're really testing yourself, because at the end of the day, the biggest person that's going to test you is you.
Yep.
And you know your capabilities and what you think is your capabilities, and pushing past them and exceeding those limits every time. It's super special.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
They're like, man, like you're your own worst enemy, honestly.
yeah,
Like
man,
you're
absolutely.
like, all the thoughts that go through your head, like. But what's it like once the bell rings and the gloves tapped? Like, is there something going through your head, like how's this going to play out, or like, because I know like a lot of stuff is just probably muscle memory to you now. Like,
Yeah.
you don't even think really when you're in there. Do you?
Yeah, I just know I'm trying to get my reads. You know, I'm fainting. I'm moving around. I'm trying to keep my head off center line. You know, I'm just doing basic things that I know that I should be doing already, even if I'm not engaging. You know what I mean? And then if I see him move a certain way, then I'm going to engage this way. I'm going to attack this. If I see an opening, I think, then I start. Oh, okay, this is the combos that I open this up. Maybe I'll throw him off just to open up another combo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it just depends, and I think a lot of it's the flow of the fight too. A lot of it people don't give credit to this. It's the flow of your opponent too.
Yeah.
I can't control if my opponent comes out and runs at me and fucking
Yep.
goes full on. You know what I mean? I can't control that. I can't control if he runs away from me the whole fight, but I can control how I act to it and what I do to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I take that into consideration too. I'm pretty sure like Mondelli, he does a lot of the same thing. He throws big shots and comes across there brawling. So I'm just, probably gonna have to hone that first storm that they do. But
That's right.
happens a lot.
That's what you gotta do whenever you're going to step in there. Always keep side back of your head that your opponent could be like that.
You mentioned earlier something about like the size of the cage. How big is like this cage compared to UFC's?
Crazy. It's like
Like you could fit, because like in wrestling, there's like 16 by 16, which is the small, and then there's like 20 by 20 or 18 by 18.
so some of these octagons, like this one I'm fighting in, it's crazy small compared to to even the Apex.
Yeah.
The Apex is way smaller than the big the other ones. Sean O'Malley, he talks about it just because he's one of those guys that use so much movement.
He's a very
utilizes that. Yeah, it's a significant amount. It'd almost be like Pee Wee to senior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That kind of jump deal. So.
Back on Sean O'Malley. I wasn't a fan at first, and then I started to like him, and then he got that win over Peter Yan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I like Sean, but to be honest, one of my favorite fighters in the UFC is Peter Yan. I love his style, everything he does, the way he mixes it up, and he's a savage, man. He plays with his food. If you watch him, he'll.
He was playing with Aljo that before he threw the illegal knee.
Yeah.
That was their first fight.
The Uriah Faber fight.
Yeah.
Man, he was talking, and he was like, "You gonna quit?" Like he was fucking with him, and he's just one of those guys that he's a killer, and he's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC for sure. So.
Hell yeah.
What is it? Is there has there ever been a time you farted in the cage, or you got in there and you I got shit?
Oh nah. I take a tremendous amount of pregame shits and pisses before I get in the cage. My coach he'll be looking at me laughing because I'll be trying to wrap my hands. I'll be like, dude, I've got to go piss. But partly that is reloading up from the weight cut. So as soon as I step off the scale, after I face off or whatever, even fuck facing off too, for real. I go right over, I start eating food and shit before I even face off. But yeah, a lot of that's just filling the body right back up. So
dude, that first sip of Gatorade or whatever you're drinking, dude, you feel it run through your whole body.
Yeah, I always drink a Pedialyte first. I always go for a great Pedialyte, and that first, like you said, that first sip, I just feel automatic. I started feeling rejuvenate me up already.
I would use I would drink depending on how long I had before my matches. So it's like you either get a I would either if it was a big tournament I probably wouldn't get a bye, so I'd be wrestling first round.
Yeah.
But if it was like a smaller tournament, I'd get a bye because I was number 1 or 2 seed, and so like I could sit there and eat and stuff. And but like before a match, I didn't want to eat a lot, so I'd drink Pedialyte, and then eventually I got on Liquid IV, which is really good.
The little packets.
Yeah.
I drink one of those too. A gallon of water.
Yeah.
Just hydrate up. Steak, sweet potato, rice. Get it going.
Hell yeah.
I used to do. What was it? The show's about you, and I know I keep talking about, but I feel like we can relate much because, but like when I would cut weight, I would come in Monday at 118. My weight class was 106, but with a 2-pound allowance, so it's 108 really. Come in about like 118, 120. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday, I would wear a sauna suit every day to practice. I would eat 1 Cliff Bar a day, and because I'm like super picky, and so the only thing my dad like would ever make was like boiled chicken or something.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'd rather not eat, or I'd sneak and eat something and then make myself throw up, like that type of deal. And then Thursday night, I would take 9 laxatives. And shit my brains out all day at school, and then Saturday be on weight.
Yeah.
Which was insane.
I just water loaded up, and then the dieting, man, it's crazy because I thought I used to have to starve myself or do whatever, but dude, I'm full. You know what I mean? I eat just don't season my food as much during the weight cut week, and all I eat is meat and eggs. Like I just straight carnivore.
Is there like a time? I've heard it's you start cutting 2 weeks before.
I wouldn't say the full 2 weeks. Maybe like 10 days you start adjusting, really kind of cutting back on the calories and certain things, and then like I like to see how low I can get to just to rehydrate and eat back up to. You know what I mean? During camp. So I don't know. I just think everybody has a little personal preference, especially for cutting weight. You know.
And a lot of people don't realize like why you do it, but it's because everybody else does it.
Yeah.
Like everybody's a weight bully pretty much. Like the top 5 guys in wrestling are not 106s; they're 132s.
Yeah, man, and I really felt it going from starting training at 215, 220 pounds, and then losing all that weight, and then going to 170. We thought like, oh, I'm not gonna get no smaller, you know. But I kept getting smaller, and both times I weighed in at 170, I didn't really cut weight. Like I didn't water load, I didn't do nothing, I just didn't eat that morning and everything like that. But I weighed in under 170 both times. Yeah. And my coach was like, "Listen, bro, you gotta go to 55, or you're gonna be fighting." The dudes I was fighting were 6'3". Yeah. You know, Ethan Riley's 6'2". So first 2 opponents at 170 were just so big, and it showed me you gotta really diet, change some things in your life, and you gotta cut weight, man. That's what everybody does. We cut weight.
It's like what is it? There's a couple people who are real bad about it though, like Patty.
Yeah.
Patty's batty, dude. He might be the worst about it. And then I think Dustin gets up to he gets up pretty heavy too.
That's how I see some of their like what they get up to. I kind of get up there. I don't get over about 184 is me. Yeah. Pretty chunky. But I don't get over that. But that's still 29 pounds of fight weight, you know. So.
Yep.
So is it like a bulk? Like you bulk and then cut? Is that what you do,
bulk or just get fat. You know, when I really start, getting out of camp, the first week after the fight, man, you gain 15 pounds already. Like it's crazy, you know. The first day after. First day after what? Yeah. After I eat, I was 118. Like back up to 118. Yeah, I'll probably be fighting at 175. Yeah. Probably what I step in at the cage at, and after the week after that, I mean, I love burgers and fries, bro. I love indulging in good food, you know. So. Bro,
that's one of the worst things about like cutting weight is anywhere, anything that you do, there's food. Bro.
Yeah, man. Especially I got a 3.5-year-old daughter. So, daddy, like, bro, daddy text is a thing. Like I always take bites of her food and shit, test it out, taste it, finish what she don't finish. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to waste nothing, but during camp, I'm sitting there struggling. I'll like go to do it. I'll be like, fuck, I can't do this right now. You know? So.
Exactly.
Do they let you like wear your own shorts and stuff like that?
Yeah, I get all my shorts are custom. My coach's sister, she like prints all the people that sponsor me on there and stuff too. Which I go ahead and give a little shout out to my sponsors real quick if I can.
Yes, you can, brother.
Yeah. So Flantley LLC in Louisville. It's a little law company. Appreciate them. Freedom Financial Group. It's a life insurance company. Trey Wright, he runs that. My buddy Donabed Enterprises is going to be starting a combat promotion down there in Florida, doing a whole bunch of different types of things, managing fighters and doing stuff like that. So those are my three sponsors for this fight coming up.
Hell yeah, shout out.
Hell yeah, shout out to them.
What do you think about like? Cause I had one of my old coaches. He passed away, but he did MMA at Four Seasons too, and he did one of those team battles.
Yeah, the quintets. That's what. Or are you just talking jiu-jitsu or MMA?
MMA.
So my coach, he did a triple threat.
Oh,
one-on-one. AJ, he did one like that. So that shit's wild. I probably wouldn't do that shit. You asking to get fucked up.
It's like, I think the rules for the like 2-on-2 is like if you knock one dude out from one team, then you have 1 minute to finish the other dude before they reset it.
Yeah. We've been doing this quintet, which I think this is probably gonna be a big idea, like that will blow up at levels in high school, collegiate, everything, because it's a great idea. 5-on-5, and you go in a row. You know what I mean? Line them up however you want to line up. You tap that person out, they're out. The next person comes in, and that one stays in. So you're 5 versus their 4. So it's a dope little tournament setup system, and you can either run through a team, or you can have one guy like. Say you beat all 5, and then that motherfucker stays in and beats all 5 of your team, and then you end up winning. It's crazy, you know. It's gonna. I think it's gonna kick off, and it's gonna be a dope.
It would be.
That'd be badass. And fucking Dana White, if you see this, you heard his idea. Fucking get rid of goddamn slap fight. I'm tired of that shit. It sucks. I hate slap fight. I hate it.
I do too.
There was so many other ideas I would like your idea. I'd much rather see than slap fight.
Yeah, slap fight. I don't know about it, man.
There's no real technique.
I don't think I'm letting nobody just get a lick off on me just cause, and then me doing it back. Like, nah.
Charles Taylor said, "Love you, son."
Oh, love you, Pop. Shout out, Pop.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Charles.
Yes,
yep,
sir.
Charles Taylor.
Shout out to you for getting us hooked up, getting him in here. Yeah. Thank you.
Sir.
And it's true. I mean, slap fight. There's no real technique. You're basically giving each other CTE because.
Yeah. Well, I might argue a little bit. There's probably a little technique.
Yeah.
There's probably a little technique because your rotation of your hips and hitting and everything like that. But taking a fucking slap and let someone get a lick off of you, that is no fucking technique. Like you just gambling, you know. But what they paying?
Yeah, that's paying. There are people that's paying to see that.
If they're paying $15,000 for me to go get slapped, I might go get slapped for $15,000.
That's true.
Is there weight classes? Cause that's
there's weight classes. Okay, people cut weight, like they're treating it like it's actual fighting. So,
but
I'd love to see your idea more than slap fight.
Yeah, in that quintet thing that people have. Been doing it a little bit, but like really having it on a level and having solidified teams and like having a college playoff for it, like that would be sick as fuck, you know. And there's so much we haven't really dabbled into like athletes like your football, your imagine if LeBron tried to do MMA since he was 10 years old. Could you imagine? You know what I mean? Like
he would be insane.
We need some of these athletes to come over here and try to do that shit that are at the collegiate level. Some of the wrestlers and maybe some of the different sports, and maybe they try it and like it, you know.
What do you think about a guy like Bo Nickel?
Yeah, Savage, bro.
Savage. He came over. He won like 3 or 4 NCAA titles. Came over and like it's knocking people out.
Yeah, man. And could you imagine if like on top of his national wrestling pedigree, that he had a national jiu-jitsu team where he was going against the best people. Like, that'd be sick, you know? Just so much room for the sport and the athletes. I think one thing that, like, you see, like, NBA, like, 50 years ago, how they used to do it, Michael Jordan, all them, they didn't get paid as much as the NBA players now. It's because of the growth. But they also probably didn't have AAU basketball, 100,000 AAU basketball teams and all these different divisions and everything like that. As we keep growing and the sport grows, we got to put more shit into it.
That's right.
Things like AAU, grappling, or these tournaments, and more stuff and more team ideas that pop up. That's a lot of money, bro. It's a lot of money to be.
Have you done like so like when you're not fighting, have you ever done like a Naga tournament?
Oh yeah. So I actually fought twice before I did my first jiu-jitsu tournament. So once I lost those two, and at 170, I was like, all right, I'm gonna lock in on the grappling, because if you look at the first two fights, what could have helped me a lot and the most was my grappling. So I really locked in on jiu-jitsu after those first two losses, and just did like 15 Naga and Fuji tournaments, and I was a white belt, and I won like all of them, and then I finally got my blue belt. But yeah, I was hooked and locked in on those, just preparing for that comeback to MMA.
Yeah.
Ready to take that grappling that I was focusing on and implementing there.
Those are cool as shit. They give you a big ass medal, and then do they still do belts?
Yeah, so you get a belt at Naga and everything like that. So it's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
And as you could tell, I took that year off and was doing all those competitions. I came back that next year and won 4 in a row submissions. You know what I mean? So it really paid off. Yeah.
It really did. Now I gotta ask you. We were watching one of these fights, and they said that your name was Travis the Storm Hudson.
Storm, it's Smoke.
Oh, Smoke?
Smoke, yes, sir.
Now that's a good name.
Yes, sir. Smoke, participate in some extracurricular activities like that.
And also because you smoke them. And
yeah, roll them up, smoke them, man. And I'm not ducking smoke from nobody. If you've seen who I fought the highest level of competition, and I've had probably the least training out of every single one of my opponents. Yeah. I didn't wrestle in high school. I didn't train MMA. I didn't do kickboxing at Jupiter. I didn't do none of that. And every time I've been told, "Oh, this guy's from super good camp, super this," I'm not ducking none of that. I like that shit, and it makes me better, and it motivates me to know that if I can compete at that level with these guys, and I am at a high level in this sport, and that's the only thing I want to do is keep growing higher and higher.
Good nickname for you too.
Appreciate it, bro.
And I think it's crazy, and that you only started training in 2020.
Yeah, man.
And you're already 8 fights deep, like and with wins too.
Yes,
like,
sir.
And about to be pro.
And you before that you never wrestled or anything.
Nothing.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah, man. So, and like I said, all credit to my coaches, my team, Temple and Louisville Combat Academy. I couldn't do nothing. They've really they just made me a better person, you know what I mean? Better human, better everything. From teaching me martial arts to just being good people to be around. So
that's right.
I would advocate that for anybody to get into martial arts or jiu-jitsu, get your kids in it. It's just good people 9 times out of 10 to be around. Not saying that you don't have your little like shitheads or whatever and bad people, but a lot of times, man, these people are good and they live good morally and make good decisions. At least the ones I've been around in my journey, I've been blessed to have so far.
And they can come to the Louisville Combat Club and get some training.
Absolutely, pull up. I will be there most likely. So.
Exactly.
Do you know Junie Browning?
Yeah, I know Junie. I've trained with Junie a bunch of times. A couple of my friends, Lance Lawrence and Todd Pickett, they train with Junie. So yeah, he's a savage though.
How's he doing now?
I think he's doing good. Todd is one of his kids. He's the championship fight on this card coming up on August 3rd.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you ain't seen Todd fight, man, look up Todd. Todd Pickett's a demon.
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
That's a name to know. And then, of course, Lance Lawrence, the Contender Series veteran. Always, yeah.
Junie Browning was tough. So I don't know him or anything, but I watch him on Ultimate Fighter, and he's
Junie Browning, that's a different guy. So I'm talking about Junie Miller. I'm talking about a completely different guy. But shout out Junie, Todd, and everybody. Love y'all.
So you know of Junie Browning.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
crazy
no.
gal and,
You say Junie, bro, I just think of the Junie that I know, man. He's cool.
but he was crazy on the show,
Yeah.
and but he's like, so when my dad wrestled, because that's what my dad did, there was this guy called Law Dog, and Law Dog's nephew was of the Brownies.
Yeah.
And then they ended up trading at the 4, and then that's where I went to get some work in and
Yeah.
stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen him or anything.
Yeah.
And
That's
then-
I definitely like to go out there and train too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd like to go train anywhere. You know, I want to talk to everybody that's been in the game and go to the gyms, learn something. I mean, it's sick as fuck to be part of anybody's that had a journey in this
Yeah.
thing and go see what they do and how they do it.
I think it would be really cool to go to go live somewhere else for a little bit and train in a different country, Thailand or something.
Oh yeah, and there's crazy offers for that, bro. It's I could have went this summer for $1,500. Everything went included. $1,500 flight, everything. Could have stayed there, had food 3 times a day, everything, man.
Hell yeah. That's what it's all about, though. You get offers to go train outside the country, learn over there. That's experience that you're gaining.
Yeah.
It's what is it? Right when I got out of high school, I applied to it's Cody Rhodes' Wrestling Academy, which is
Yeah.
he's like
American
the champ.
Nightmare
Yeah.
Factory.
Yeah, I applied to that, and they sent me a thing back, but it was $2,500 to go, and
Yeah, this shit's
I
crazy.
was a kid, didn't have a job,
Yeah.
just got out of high school, didn't know what I was gonna do.
Yeah, there's this crazy ass jiu-jitsu thing in Cancun. It's $2 grand. I'm trying to go to that. It's Eddie
yeah.
Bravo, and it's
Oh,
got
shit.
all types of different crazy jiu-jitsu shit going on.
You might know one of the wrestlers. I think he does jujitsu at 10th Planet in Richmond. It's Marvelous, or what's his name?
Marvelous Johnson.
Marcus Johnson.
Yep.
I
And-
probably know him. I've been out to
The
Richmond
Richmond
a
one,
couple
yeah.
times. I know Chris and
Yeah, yeah.
Scott.
Have you met a Jacob Ratliff?
That sounds familiar. And
He's a
Does he do
wrestler
jiu-jitsu?
that does MMA as well.
yeah, I'm super good with faces. So if I
Yeah.
seen your face, I'll be like, I've seen you before. I know you. But I just know Chris, Gina, Scott.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
maybe.
I wrestled with Chris back in the day, and then we went to, because I think when he started wrestling, he started at the Car Academy, so I would see him over there at the summer.
That's who my head coach, my head jiu-jitsu coach, Adrian, his
That's
mat, coach, master, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is
Yeah.
Scott Elliott.
So, what is it? His mom fights too, I think. Chris
Gina?
Banks? Yeah.
Yeah, she
Dude.
just a badass jiu-jitsu,
Dude.
crazy grappler.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a black belt too.
He has I've seen he'll post something on Instagram like Eddie Bravo and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I'm like, it's dope.
Yeah, bro. So it's crazy that 10th Planet community it's a real community. Everybody usually supports each other and does all that.
It's basically that guy right there. So the ring with the shirt on. White shirt.
Yeah, I think I've seen him before.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of MMA outside wrestling.
Yeah, hell
He
yeah.
does backyard street fight pretty much.
Yeah.
Don't he?
Yeah.
Like bare knuckles.
Him and Dwayne Davis had a hard-hitting match where it didn't look like they were pulling their punches. They were literally beating the
getting
hell out of
after
each
it.
other.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Suplexing each other on that hardwood floor, too.
I love that. I'm all about some controlled violence. I
Yeah.
love
Me
it all.
too.
That's the thing about pro wrestling. It's scripted and stuff, but the best pro wrestlers are people who know how to hit somebody, but
Yeah.
hit them in a safe place and make it look real.
Yeah. Dude, I probably wouldn't have been an MMA fighter without pro wrestling. I mean,
Yeah.
growing up, I mean, Stone Cold, all that era, the Attitude Era, that was
Yeah.
the best.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that
by
was the
by
best.
far the greatest
Because-
era in wrestling.
Yeah.
That was the time that made you really believe, and it also made you catch your eyes on MMA, because MMA had just started its infancy, because we had Ken Shamrock,
Oh yeah.
Dan Severn,
Oh,
Steve Blackman, a
Yeah.
karate
He was
fighter.
the first dude I seen. Kung Lee versus Frank Shamrock was the first MMA fight I
shit.
ever watched. Yeah.
Hell
what
yeah.
UFC was that?
It
you
wasn't
know?
even a UFC. It was on Showtime, man. It was like
Was it
Channel
like a
17. It was
judo
like Pride
fight?
or so. It was something crazy. It was straight MMA. It was.
Yeah.
They had blue gloves. Remember that?
Oh,
but,
that's Pride.
Yep.
Yeah,
yeah, man. That was the first MMA fight I ever watched.
do you believe? Because I've heard some stuff that the first UFC was a setup, and here let me explain. So it was ran by the Gracies, and they put Hoist in it, and they were the only ones who knew about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
So nobody else knew, and what they were doing was trying to bring Jiu-Jitsu to America.
Yeah.
Do you think it?
I believe I've heard some things like that, especially them teaching things that led them into traps that
Yeah.
only the Gracies knew. But I don't know if I know jiu-jitsu's super hard, and it's super hard to tap a motherfucker. So
Yeah.
I credit to him, whatever.
Yeah.
Can't diss him.
Let's see. Do you have like a favorite moment in a fight that you've had?
Yeah. I fought this dude named Devin Evitz in Southern Indiana Combat Promotion, and when I won that fight, right before I choked him out, the
Yeah.
sequence before I choked him out was so cool because he kind of hit me with a shot, backed me up, tried to swarm me, and it felt like everything went slow motion. I was moving my head, right, everything. I framed off, switched stances, hit him with some big shots, and then took him down and choked him out. But just that 20 seconds was the best I ever looked.
Yeah.
In total, period.
There was a match. It was my last match at state my junior year, and it was me versus this Taylor County kid, and he was tough. He beat me earlier in the year, and so we both have this scrap to us. So
Yeah.
at the end of the thing, match, both my nostrils are bleeding, and I got two of the plugs in it, and dude, we're just club,
Yeah.
shoot, block, shoot, down, but we were and it was I felt like I was in the fucking Matrix
Yeah,
in
dude.
that match.
Yeah.
And, there's a certain moment you feel, and you're holy. And I ended up losing the match, but after I was holy shit.
After about my second fight I won, the third one, and then the fourth, I told my coach, I was like, man, everything's just starting to slow down. I'm starting to really see everything that's fucking happening and taking it in. He was like, yeah, it's good that that's happening already. He was like, usually it didn't happen to me for 6-7 fights. He was like, you get in on this. I was like, yeah, it's way cool to feel that feeling, because then you really taking it in. You can see the fruits of your labor, paying off.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
you're really doing the sport now.
What do you think about guys that are they're more of not promoters, but they're more they bring it McGregor brings the entertainment value
Yeah.
to MMA.
I mean, you gotta have it. You gotta do it.
But he backed it up
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
time being.
Yeah, you gotta have it. You gotta do it. That's part of it. People's paths are gonna be laid out differently, and how you make yourself perceived, and everything might have your path easier. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if you go that way, you fight exciting, you might get favorable matchups, and you got a crowd and following. You might get it handed to you in a way, quote unquote, but
Yeah.
you still gotta go out there and earn that shit,
Yeah.
and go out there and perform and do it under the lights. So
It's there's been a bunch of people who try to imitate what McGregor did. There's one dude who got a tattoo and looks like McGregor, and
Yeah.
he goes in there and gets fucking slumped
Yeah.
first round.
and that's what I think too about this is you can I definitely like and have favorite fighters and want to do whatever, but I don't want to copy or repeat anybody. Like, I'm trying to be me. I'm trying to want to make my own, pave my own way. I want people to be like, say, oh shit, I want to be like him. You know what I mean? Not that I don't want to be like them, but to have my own path, my own journey.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to replicate nothing. I'm out here trying to do what I do.
You always want to be the first you.
Yeah.
That's what Dusty Rose once told Ric Flair, because Ric Flair wanted to be the next Dusty Rose. Dusty Rose was like, baby, instead of trying to be the next Dusty Rose, why don't you try being the first Ric Flair? And that's how we got the Nature Boy.
Yes, sir.
I could be wrong, but I believe. I was trying to find some old wrestling video. I can't find one. But I could be wrong, but I believe that MMA actually comes from pro wrestling in a way, because like over in Japan, Ken Shamrock would do. They called it Shudo.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know, was those fixed like pro wrestling, or was they like more MMA? They were like MMA, but with like pro wrestling gear.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with that, for real.
Yeah, I've only seen like a couple of them, like, and then there's only like a couple like famous ones like Shamrock and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I'm not too familiar with that.
I liked the vibe that the like early 2000s UFC brought, like Affiliation, Monster, like
it was definitely different.
Yeah.
Now you can definitely, it's more of a corporate, like big business type thing.
That, like back in the day, like a bunch of rednecks, drunk, and now it's like you got little fanboys online.
Did y'all happen to go to the UFC event in Louisville?
No, I didn't get to go. I was out of town.
Man, that was dope as fuck to see.
Yeah.
And you could just see, like, watching it from when I was a kid to this is crazy, the growth and just the eyes on the sport, and it's just gonna keep growing, man.
Think about this, the spear that they're doing.
Oh, so I went to Vegas last year after one of my fights, and I went out there and I trained at 10th Planet Vegas too. Got to train in elevation for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, got to be around some super high level guys. It was crazy eye opening, but seeing the sphere, man, shit is fucking wild.
Was there like anything on it?
Yeah, man. It would just, like, an eyeball would pop up and it would move around. Like, it looks insane though. It don't even look real.
Yeah.
Vegas is dope as fuck. Period. So.
Just a second.
I know.
Oh,
Too bad they ain't got your name.
Yeah, no, I can't find it. We used to have a YouTube channel. I don't know if they deleted it. What was it? Is there?
They have your real name and not Bmoney.
No. They have like the track wrestling ones, but you can't watch them.
What was the YouTube name?
It was just Station Wrestling. I'm trying to find it. Are there any other things you want to promote or anything like that?
No, just my family and my friends, everybody supporting my journey. I appreciate everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give a big thank you to everybody. I definitely couldn't do it, you know what I mean, by myself. So I got a lot of good people around me, and I just appreciate them and love them, you know what I mean? Shout out to my people, everybody supporting the journey.
I was going to ask you, because you brought up you trained in high elevation. What's like the difference between like maybe training in Kentucky and then training in Vegas? Is it like?
So in Kentucky, I'll go 10 rounds and be all right, not breathing too crazy. But in Vegas, I went 3 and I was gasping for fucking air. I couldn't. It was just insane. Like, breathing in the air is just way different at that elevation.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you could. It really surprised me. It fucked me up the first day training. I felt like first day training type thing again. I was like, I was like, what is this? And he was like, elevation, bro. He was like, it's gonna take a couple of days. I was like, damn.
Insane. So like, so that could be why like people like Justin Gaethje, like he's from Arizona.
Yeah, I think he does a lot of his camps in Colorado though.
Yeah.
And
like he's out there in the heat.
Yeah, so those guys that are training in elevation definitely have an advantage, but
Yeah.
I think that's part of fighting too. Like when I'm fighting out of town, I like to get there as early as possible so I can get accumulated to just even the fucking air. You know what I mean? I like to be accumulated to everything. So.
I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be back.
But yeah,
Man,
Yeah.
this-
MMA and wrestling are kind of alike in regards because MMA fighters are able to transition to wrestling. I mean, sometimes you wouldn't think it, but as soon as you see an MMA fighter come to a wrestling show, they adapt to it like it was second nature.
Yeah, absolutely. I think wrestling's and even pro wrestling, a lot of those guys, if they carry it over to MMA and really train and develop
Yep.
those skills, they would probably have some success. You know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, like Brock Lesnar, when he first came there, he lost his match, but then when he came back, it was like he was on a whole new level.
Yeah.
Like he finally took it serious.
Yeah.
Because when he first got in, he lost because he got cocky.
Yeah, he was a scary. I think he just thought nobody could touch me because I'm
Yep.
so fucking scary, and he was fucking scary. Everybody's scared of
Yep.
him. But there's other skills that counter that wrestling and
Yep.
being big body. You know.
Yep, and he
Jiu-jitsu.
found out firsthand.
Frank Mir twisted that toe up, that foot up. So
And then he came back and he beat Frank Mir.
yeah,
No one thought that would happen.
yeah,
But that's because he finally took it serious instead of thinking that because he's such a big guy and Frank Mir being smart than him that he could somehow powerhouse that man.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where he made his mistake. First time got in there with Frank Mir. Thought they could take Frank Mir. Thought that Frank Mir couldn't pick him up. Frank Mir gets him down. The man
Yeah,
made sure that Brock Lesnar got exposed.
that's that game. That's the game plan.
Yep. That's what people need to understand. If you're going to transition to MMA, you got to take it serious.
Yes, sir.
You got to train on your techniques, get good coaches, always go to the gym, do some workouts, get ready to throw down, tussle. Don't never go inside there thinking that, oh, this guy ain't going to take me down. Always know inside back of your mind, this guy may want it more than me,
Yes, sir.
but I damn sure I'm going to make it harder for him.
Yep. Anything's possible in there. It's
Exactly.
crazy.
That's the one reason why MMA is such a fascinating sport because football players can't do what MMA fighters
No,
do,
hell no, man.
and neither can boxers. I mean, you see these boxers be like, I could do it, but then when they go to MMA,
Yeah.
they find out real quick.
Yeah,
Nope.
respect to the boxers too, though,
Exactly.
because man, I've had some sparring with just straight boxers, and when just boxing, and they bop my fucking head off, and
Yes.
it sucks. But I'm like, bro, I will kick you in your leg if you keep on doing this shit.
That's
Like,
true.
What do you think is more dangerous though, boxing or MMA? Because boxing's more of like a constant head or body, and majority of it's pretty much headshots.
Now, I'd say MMA's probably more dangerous just because the weapons are more dangerous, man. If I hit you in the right spot with an elbow, it's gonna fuck you up for weeks, you know.
The third mic is turned off.
But yeah. So it I don't know. I'd say MMA for sure, but it don't mean motherfucker
Yeah,
that
yeah.
box couldn't
I mean,
fucking really fuck you
Look
up.
at Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, Parkinson's and shit.
Who,
yeah.
There was another fighter who he versed a guy, and the dude like put like cement or something in his gloves, or like took the padding
I heard-
out, and like
yeah.
he like killed the guy.
Yeah, I forgot about that. They figured it out right there in the ring. They started freaking out. Yeah,
Dude,
man.
his face at the end of the fight was
Yeah.
crazy. Both eyes swelled up.
Yeah, man, you can't do no shit like that, man. Yeah. Someone's definitely gonna have to get that lick back on that one. You can't
Yeah.
let that slide.
What do you think about like? Would you ever try like bare knuckle or anything like
if
that?
they pay me good, if they pay me good, I've had some talks with my coach about it or whatever, but I probably just do this MMA for a minute
Yeah.
before whatever, build the name, and if it came along and they was the right money, then I'd do it. But I probably just stand towards MMA right now.
Yeah, it's like but like guys like Jason. Have you ever heard of Jason Knight?
Yeah, Savage.
Jason Knight, Artem Lobov, and Mike Perry were all like, I'm not gonna say they're not like bad fighters, but they weren't elite UFC fighters.
Absolutely.
And then they go over the bare knuckle and they're superstars.
Yeah, I think that their styles too, man. Even in the styles in the UFC, if they just want to stand up and bang, it benefits them super much. And then, you know, some people, Mike Perry is crazy. He can take that damage, you know. So it definitely benefits some people, and it's probably better for their game and better suits them. You know, it's a whole different game. Bare knuckle fighting is not the same as boxing, and it's not the same as MMA, obviously. So people might think it's not that much different, but this shit's different, you know. The way you slipping, the way you're taking your punches, everything. The way you're blocking, everything's fucking different.
It's like MVP fought Mike Perry and Luke Harako, and I think both of those guys would trash him in MMA, but they got their shit fucking rocked
and he was there, you know. So yeah, it just goes to show that shit's different games, different levels, different everything, you know.
Some people like just love it that much. Like they're like, some people just can't. What do you think about like people that like retire and then they like come back and do something like that?
I mean, I feel like a lot of times people do that because their money's not right. They've probably been living outside their means, you know, spending everything they got, so they feel like they got to fight again, or maybe part of it's they don't want to give up and everything. I'm sure there's 100 different reasons, but if I ever make it like that, I hope to, you know, have my shit situated to where I don't want to. Once I say I'm done, man, I want to be done. I don't want to come back. If I come back, I want it to be because I want to come back, not because I need a check. You know what I mean, or something like that.
I heard a crazy story. I think it was Joe Rogan said that in like the early 2000s, he was supposed to have a boxing match with Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Because Wesley Snipes like got in trouble for like money laundering and stuff like that. So like apparently Joe Rogan was supposed to fight Wesley Snipes.
That'd have been cool. I wish they would have just kicked though. Kickbox. Did you say kickboxing or boxing?
I think boxing.
They should have just kickboxed though. They're both fucking sick at kicking.
Cool. What did you think about what do you think would have happened if Tito Ortiz and Dana White if that ever happened?
I've never seen Dana really throw the hands. Like, have you ever seen a video of Dana training or anything?
No, he's
not
like
really
ripped though.
Yeah, he's super ripped now. He's super in shape. I feel like he could probably secretly throw hands, but I don't know. I mean, Tito Ortiz is Tito fucking Ortiz. You know, he was out there banging with the best of them at that time, and 205 was probably the best weight class ever with all those people in there. You know what I mean? So.
What is it, Randy Couture?
Yeah, Chuck Liddell, Machitas, the Rashad Evans, all those motherfuckers. That's crazy, you know. So.
Do you think like the UFC, or do you think like the tournament style? Do you like the tournament style or like
See,
how it is now?
I don't like it like if it was always a tournament.
Yeah.
But if they had certain tournaments, like Tom asked me how he suggested it for them to have that Grand Prix, that's dope. They should do that because then we can truly who's the best. You know what I mean? Then ducking he fought him. Let's do it. That's cool. I fuck with the tournament. But they also gotta pay. They gotta pay them something crazy for a tournament, quick turnarounds, or however the hell they're gonna do it.
Did he talk about fighting them the same night?
I think that's what he was talking about, which is cool. I would like to see some of that sometimes, and from the UFC guys, because then that in itself, as you do like a one super fight in jiu-jitsu, and you just roll one time against somebody. Or you go to a super big tournament and you roll 10 times and compete, and it's a 2-day thing. Yeah. That's fucking cool, too. So I think I would like to see some of that in fight. Not all the time, but special maybe tournaments and shit like that, you know?
I would like maybe like a weight class tournament. Like you seed everybody and stuff like that, and but you can't do it, like, I don't think you could do it all on the same night. Yeah. And that's the only problem would be like it would take so long to do a tournament.
It would have to be like a crazy event. And I get why they don't do it, but at the same time I feel like they could probably figure it like there's some things we can figure out. they can figure it out.
How do you think like MMA fighters like back then would do in today's era?
I think there's some that would do good and probably
Like that?
excel, but a lot of them, the game's different. The game's changing, man, and it's still changing. It's forever changing, you know. So
Yeah, like they were. I mean, like the original UFC guys and like even guys back then were like super tough, but they're not skilled. So
Yeah.
like in today's era, like
yeah, and it's so much more international, and you get to see so many different styles. Like Sambo's really came over and took over the game, and then you get crazy kickers like Giga Jakazi, you know what I mean? And then you're still your American boxers, Calvin Cater. Like it's crazy all the different styles and different things that are in the UFC. How much talent really in athletics has changed. The way they cut weight has changed, and that's how we should be. If we're in a sport, we always want to evolve and be better. You know what I mean? We don't want to digress and do what. So I hope they would say like the fighters now are probably better than they were back then. You know what I mean? So.
I would say like what was it? Dana bought the UFC when it was going under for 1.3 million.
Yeah.
And now he just did that big TKO deal for like millions of dollars.
Yeah,
Dude,
Dana's he's a genius, man. Straight G.
What do you think? Like, where do you see like the sort of local scene in the next couple of years?
I definitely see growth in the local scene just because of the growth in the sport. What's crazy is I think a lot of these promotions are probably making bread. Like these local scene ones, they're making bread, and these promotions come and go though. You know, they're there for the cash. You know, I mean, they don't really give a fuck about the fighters, or maybe they will build a big one or whatever, but they always seem to even phase out then. So you'll see one be big for a couple years, and then it dies out.
Because I could be wrong, but y'all make like commission off like how many you sell.
Yeah,
Is
how
that-
many
is
I
that how
sell.
it is?
Yeah. So how many tickets you sell, and you got to get people to say your name. So that's like a whole thing in itself too, which goes into just not fighting it. You got to market. You got to portray something. You got to be interesting. You got to fight interesting. You got to do a whole lot of shit. So yeah, man.
That's how it has to be.
Who are watching, John?
We're watching an old Kentucky wrestling building factory that had professional wrestling from Kentucky in it that's been abandoned long since.
Shit.
And it's pretty much that building had lots of history and famous from Kentucky. But it's been long since abandoned because no longer was a wrestling company running out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember those bathrooms. I would always piss in those fountains. I thought they were toilets.
You've been there before, haven't you?
No, like just like I've seen one. I think they had one at like Bryan Station's high school, and the bathrooms down at one of them. Well, you got any plans after this fight?
Probably gonna take a little trip to Florida next week sometime. Just kick back with my daughter, man. Kick back with my people.
Yeah.
Do nothing, rest, recover, and then get right back to it. Right back to work. Probably maybe take a week off. Sometimes I fucking get up in there the next fucking day. I don't know. Just depends on how I feel, how drunk I get,
Yeah.
whatever it is. So.
After you win Saturday, what's gonna be the first food that you reach for? What do you,
I like to have a collection of things on standby. Usually the first thing I'm reaching for is a little bag of candy in my bag. I eat that back there, and then I go. I really don't have my appetite all the way until I settle after. So I eat a little thing of candy, and then I get some beer in me. I go say what's up to my people, and then I'll go smack some fried food. Some chicken tenders, some pizza. I get a whole collection of things. So yeah, I load it the fuck up. I lose my mind. Yeah.
When are weigh-ins tomorrow? Do they do the day before?
Friday. So Friday at 3, they'll be at Parakeet Springs, the place we're fighting. So Shepherdsville, Kentucky.
What's I think you said earlier that you don't like face-off? Do you think like face-offs are like necessary or?
I mean, I guess they're necessary because people like them, and people that are buying and watching the fights like them. So it's necessary for that. But I mean, I really don't give a fuck. Let me just step on a scale and let me go eat. Let me go drink, and I'll see you tomorrow, bro. I promise you, I'll be here. So.
There's also something I want to ask. It's because I hear like a lot. It's more in. I think it's more in boxing, but there's like some sort of. It's like a hydration clause. They say.
I've had no hydration clauses in MMA. I just think it's in certain people's contracts in boxing, but I do know ONE FC has hydration. Like you can't hydrate 10 pounds over or something back. So.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, man.
But damn, that would suck. That's like wrestling's the state tournament's 2-day tournament.
Yeah.
So and it was that
Y'all
was
weigh in both days.
weigh
That
in
sucks.
both days.
See, I went to Louisville Mill High School, and we didn't have a wrestling team
Dang,
until my senior year.
Yeah, they have a wrestling team now.
Yeah, so they didn't even have one.
Males, they're like the Bulldogs or something. They got like the purple
Bulldogs, yeah, purple and gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of because we rarely would see like Louisville schools. We'd see Mayo a lot, and we'd see Holmes.
Yeah.
That's a Louisville school?
Holmes?
I think.
Nah, I don't know. I never heard of that one.
There's another one called like Central.
Yeah, Central High School.
Yeah.
St. X, Trinity. Big ones.
Yeah.
All those big joints. Yes, sir.
That's right.
What's up, Johnny? What are you doing there?
Making the flyer for tomorrow.
Tell them about tomorrow. Tell them what we got tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow night, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, you're going to see Kentucky's famous Green family in studio. They wrestled for the MWA, Mountain Wrestling Association. We're going to see Donnie Green. We're going to see Bobby Green. We're going to see Tommy Green. We're going to see Buddy Green. We're going to see Lexi Green, who some people don't even realize is a Green, because we've had even another Green ask, who the hell is this Lexi Green person? That's right, Rooster always asks, who is Lexi Green? Well, he'll finally get his answer when she's in studio with the world famous Greens.
And I just gotta say something as a Steel. Fuck the Greens. They can all come get it. They can all come get it.
That's true.
So if there's
He
any
is a
Greens
Steel.
washing, I'll be here tomorrow, and I might be bringing another Steel with me. So you better watch your back. 'Cause I know how y'all are. Bunch of redneck, white trash, pieces of shit. I take them all out. Donnie Green too. He tries to hide the redneck on his vacations and shit, but you know how he is.
That's true.
Smoke.
He wants to smoke with Donnie Green. He's been trying to get that match for a while now.
Have you ever like trash talked or like tried to trash talk or anything like that?
Nah, like I said, I remain respectful, calm. I'm just focused on the fight, going out there, having my head on, put on a good performance. But I know me, bro. If somebody trash talks me or disrespects me, I'm gonna give it right back, because I'm just not gonna stand on that. So.
What do you think about like Chael Sonnen?
Yeah, I mean he's funny. He's one of the goats at talking trash. That's it. That's his thing.
Yeah.
That's what he does. But I ain't got it in me to initiate it. If I do, then I must really not like it, because I'm really not that type of guy.
Yeah.
So.
And like what is it? The Conor and Khabib stuff goes deep.
Shit goes deep. Family,
Apparently,
wives,
yeah.
all types of shit.
Apparently, like Khabib's like manager was like a terrorist or something like that.
Yeah. See, I feel like if I was in that predicament, I'd have been jumping over the cage too and wilding out, and busting some heads. Especially if you talk about my family.
That's right.
I'm not gonna have that.
That's when you're gonna get an ass whooped.
Yeah, my family might be pulling up with me, scrapping too. So I don't know.
It's like, dude,
that's right.
Like the Conor McGregor and Dustin thing. I was like, God.
Yeah, your wife sent me dead.
Your wife sent me dead, babe.
What a broken
leg.
what a G though for saying that with a broken
Yeah.
leg, not even thinking about nothing.
Conor McGregor, man.
But
Always.
I think some of that shit's fake as fuck too. Like Kobe
Colby Covington.
Some of these guys probably are just super nice, genuine dudes, but they got to do something to, you know, have that draw to
it's
make
like
so.
Colby Covington. It's pretty much a gimmick.
Yeah, it's just a wrestling gimmick.
Yeah,
you know?
heel
he's just a heel.
He was ranked number 6, and he beat like Damian Maia, which was a high rank. I can't remember his actual rank, and the UFC was going to cut him. He was ranked 6th. They were going to cut him because they said he was a boring fighter.
Yeah.
And dude, he went out there, Brazil, don't went off, and I was kind of a fan of Colby up until his latest fight, because I thought he would have went in there and dogged Leon.
Yeah,
but he didn't do shit.
He didn't look good. But age and then wars, you know, him and Usman fought how many times? You know?
Twice.
So that shit weighs on him.
I still think there's no argument though that Usman trashed him both times.
Yeah.
Guys, we're actually coming up to the 9 p.m. You know what that means, Bmoney?
Ready to take us out?
Yeah, I can do it for you.
You want to take us out? Come on.
Well, guys, this has been Straight Shoot with Bmoney, with his first guest, an MMA legit badass about to make his pro debut August 3rd, this Saturday night, Travis Hudson. So, Travis Hudson, what do you want to say to the people?
Just appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate y'all for having me, man. August 3rd, Hard Rock MMA, hrmma.com. Professional debut, going against Nick Mondelli. Don't blink. It'll be a good fight. I'm sure he's going to bring it. I'm going to bring it. I prepared myself. So, yeah.
Shout those sponsors out, brother.
Yeah. Lantley LLC, Freedom Financial Group, Donna Bread Enterprises, and of course my home gym, Louisville Combat Academy, 10 Planet Louisville. All my coaches, all my friends, my family, my training partners, love you all. Appreciate you.
That's right.
I wanna say thank you for coming out, and this has been awesome. Finally got to talk MMA with somebody. I love it to death. Yeah. And it's been great talking to you, and good. You don't need love. Yeah. You're gonna go in there Saturday, 1-2, spinning heel kick, something, and good luck with the fight, man. Is there anywhere we can stream it at?
Yeah, you go to that HRMMA website, and I'm pretty sure you can find out exactly where it's streaming at on there.
Gotcha.
That's right.
And with that being said, tomorrow
we got the world famous Green family from the Mountain Wrestling Association. We got Donnie Green, we got Bobby Green, we got Tommy Green, we got Lexi Green, we got greens that you ain't even expecting showing up, and maybe greens that's going to be calling in. So we better be tuning in, because get your asses ready for a great time, because when the greens are inside the house, you better shut up and listen. And you might also see us still show up to cause some havoc with them, because you know our boy Bmoney here has been trying to get that match with Donnie Green for well over 2 years now.
2 matches I want.
That's right.
The stupid redheaded degenerate brother of mine, Daniel Bruner Jr., and Donnie Green. Still no
exactly.
Offer. Still no offer.
Neither of them have
Sign
accepted it.
big boy.
Especially since Danny Bruner was talking shit all that time.
Yeah, he's talking all that shit.
Bringing up the wrist thing and all that for weeks upon weeks. And then he kisses your ass for a while, and he's back to shooting on you again. But yeah, with that, if you ain't having fun,
you ain't getting none.
Damn Skippy. Yeet, yeet.
Podcast.
Those were expensive shoes. Anyways, you guys